and episode 94 rises. Greetings, and I am Flameflash of flameflash.net, or over on Raptor as raptr.com/flameflash. And since we've mentioned Raptor, we'll start right in with the Rapt Report. It's been a busy couple of weeks, and we've missed a few things that we need to catch up on, like exercising with Wii Fit Plus. So, I only spent 15 minutes in this. I exercise almost every morning, independently of Wii Fit Plus, much to Wii Fit Plus's chagrin. The little balance board character slumps down all depressed that I just don't use it. I'm sorry. It's a fun little game. We will probably invest in the Wii U version when it becomes available, but all my data was lost. And so it's really hard to even feel the drive to go back. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. I barely lost. Barely. So the fellow that I was playing against, his level 2 super was summoning a bear. And this particular bear could stick around for just long enough to slaughter you twice. We seem to both realize that our level 1 supers were not going to finish the other off once we saw them. So we each saved up for a level 2. Kratos' level 2 is much easier to dodge than the guy from Tekken's level 2 with the bear that chases you. It was a good game. He did well. And aside from one particular level causing us to crash and disconnect a few times, the 3 matches went as they should. Sims 3 shows up on the Raptor Report. Played a very short amount of time with it. Actually, tried to play would be the more appropriate term, because it's one of those evenings where you just can't keep your eyes. Oh, excuse me. You just can't stay awake. So it ran, and I watched it run in between bouts of having my eyes open or not. And then I quit it and went to bed. Civ 5, on the other hand, I multitasked. I'm guilty of multitasking with Civ 5 heavily. The Civ games are perfect for multitasking purposes, because there you are, building your civilization, and as it slowly builds, the turns get longer, it takes longer for you to complete tasks, and before you know it, whatever other project you were working on is also done. Magic the Gathering appears again. So, there was a game day this last weekend. Free Magic for a gate crash. Brought the kids. The older 2, of course. The younger 2 would try to, well, one of the younger 2 would try to eat the cards. The other of the younger 2 would simply ignore them or enjoy trying to flip the table to make them all go flying everywhere. But the older 2 each have their own standard legal decks and played. At the last minute, Sir Eldest decided to switch with one of my decks, and he lamented that he shouldn't have done that pretty much on every opportunity. Little Miss, on the other hand, was successful in her first round, best 2 out of 3, and after that was heavily trounced. But they each had fun. They want to go to the next one, which isn't this weekend. It doesn't quite work like that. Played a lot of Magic, though. Reorganized my cards, made new decks. Watched as one of those new decks got trounced. It works. World of Warcraft. You can tell clearly this was not a overly productive gaming week when WoW doesn't even break 10 hours. I mean, come on. Seriously? Total of 19 hours and 40 minutes for the last week. Good amount of gaming. Probably could have fit more in if it had been allowed due to circumstances. But that was the Rapt Report. Not too bad. No new games, but doesn't matter. They're good games. Good games. Good, yes. In the realm of World of Warcraft, news-wise, the PvP season, if you're into that, ends March 5th. In other news regarding World of Warcraft, the majority leader, Eric Cantor, is an idiot. So he comes out and we're wasting money on all these studies, etc., etc. Well, the study regarding video games did not study World of Warcraft. So there he's totally out on his quote, that it's just paying older people to play World of Warcraft. And next, it wasn't tax dollars at all. The preliminary study was so preliminary that they just did it themselves on campus. No tax money. But his office responded a little bit later and then attempted to turn us all into hot air balloons. I still feel, my backside still feels a little violated. He makes a decent enough point regarding the fact that Obama is attempting to use scare tactics with budgeting, but his office completely deflects the fact that they royally screwed up on the World of Warcraft quote, and just can't respect them when they do that kind of crap. So, there's this PlayStation 4 thing that is coming out. Supposedly holiday 2013. Awesome. One of the items announced was Diablo III. 4-player on-screen co-op. I approve. I wrote up a wish list of what I would like to see Blizzard accomplish. Wasn't much, just integrated battle.net, integrated voice chat. Please, Blizzard. Pretty please. No such luck. But Later it was announced that Battle.net wouldn't be involved. So that wish is out the window. I had really hoped that you could level up your characters on the PS4. That would have been ideal. Sign into the PS4, sign into your Battle.net, boom, there you go. And if you wanted 3 other people to use your Battle.net account and maybe make a few other characters to flesh out the group, awesome. Somebody else, some other friend playing, but is elsewhere, no problem. Except Blizzard's not going to do it. Which means, of course, no integrated voice chat either. PlayStation 4 supposedly is going to stream the games for the most part, at least when you're starting to download. And they've set the goal as the PlayStation 4's games all being remote play accessible on the Vita. I'll just drift off for a moment and let everyone recover from the shock. Oh, wait, no time for a nap, because nobody was surprised, and nobody will be surprised when Sony doesn't deliver on this. They were saying that remote play should be a possibility when the PSP and PS3 were out there. The PS4 is not backwards compatible. I'm not overly broken up about this fact because I have a working PS3. All it needs is a bigger hard drive. And then I'm off. It just doesn't mean that much. Maybe it's the fact that we can't read discs anymore. Backwards compatibility has its own bonuses. But making the system suffer by adding it, not so good. The PS3's processors were heavily different than the PS4's. So to print, need more information for it. The sharing, digital sharing. What I'm doing with you right now is going to be heavily integrated into the PlayStation 4. Cool. That means potentially I could be podcasting from the PlayStation 4 eventually. That's really awesome. The whole kit and caboodle can be summarized in about 3.5 minutes. I link to it in the show notes as opposed to embedding it just because there's some swearing by the British guy that does it. But it's a cool way, if you missed all of the talking, to go see it quickly. Star Wars side, there was a Mark Hamill interview. His stance on too much CGI and not enough old school, I really appreciated. But we'll see what happens. His goal is to see as many of the old cast come back for episode 7 as possible. Just have to wait for if the director agrees. IGN released a statement regarding the layoffs that we talked about last week, and I'll leave it at that because I don't want to get sad. PlayStation 3 area, Uncharted 3's multiplayer is going free to play. So you could download this separately, not have it on the disc, and play. Cool. But I guess I'm just not overly impressed. I haven't had a chance really to play much of the Uncharted series at all. So what I have seen of the Uncharted 3 multiplayer, it's cool. I like it. But my hard drive's too full at the moment to even consider downloading it. Entertainment news-wise, Robert Downey Jr.'s contract for Iron Man expires as of Iron Man 3. Personally, I hope he sticks around. But supposedly right now it's up in the air. And here's just one of those little public service announcements. Pay attention to what you post online. Please. So this guy posts a picture of some toy soldier. And so he has this picture posted that shows a mortar in the background. Grenade launcher. The problem is, whoever reported this clearly didn't have any depth perception or understanding of size. And it's amazing that it went as far as it did. But police raided his house, and we're nicely embarrassed to find it was just a toy. Can you imagine the police kicking in your door? They didn't in this case, but what if he hadn't been home? And finding out that they found nothing? But just some nice little foolishness there. I'm excited about the prospects of the PlayStation 4. And we will wait and see. It's probably going to be too expensive anyway to purchase for the holiday season. So we'll definitely wait and see. Podcast at flameflash.net takes you right to me, email-wise. Consider it. And now, I think I'll probably go and nod off for real. I am Flameflash of flameflash.net, signing off.